Something's not right, but that's okay.
Yeah.
We get around, make sure that track's line. Sounds like what do you think of the old depot?
I don't think I'm gonna have to worry about driving home. He's gonna be so pumped up. He's gonna be able to drive that 12 hours all by himself.
I went down and visited with that guy. He's
And once in a while.
Yeah. I visited with him for about 20 minutes of video.
Going across, and about that time, it's the best rail they had at the time.
Okay.
You could hear the thump of the wheels going from the regular rail to that
Sure.
welded rail that was on the viaduct. And I thought, man, this is unbelievable, just like gliding in a cloud across there.
Is that right?
And I've been across it probably 20, 25 times, and it's always a treat, and it's always the same. It's smooth, and you can just feast your eyes on the area,
Oh, I bet.
especially in the fall. This would be a neat ride
Gorgeous.
for them.
Yeah.
But I worked a couple of years with the Indiana on their fall train, and I've helped them with Santa train. They bring a Santa train in.
Right.
And most of the work that I did was through Holback. He would ask me to do something, whatever, clear. Could you get the snow removed or whatever? I said, sure. So I worked with him and therefore got to know most of the railroaders, and I didn't try to ride with them too much because the Indiana railroaders real persnickety about strangers.
Yeah, I bet so.
And I understand that. All the central guys, they didn't care.
Yeah. Yeah.
So.
Yeah, when I talk to old railroaders, they say, back in the 60s, 50s and 60s, I'd pretty much take anybody along with me and nobody cared. Well, today it's, all about liability and
too many lawyers.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
It was a unique experience to be associated with that particular part of my interest in railroading.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah.
And it was pretty cool. I had a lot of knowledge and a lot of time to think about things and ask questions that I needed answers to. So.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Well, obviously it all stuck. I mean, my Lord, this is
beautiful.
I'd seen the video. Daryl had told me stories, but I had I could not imagine what it was like. This is.
See that piece of blue tape down there?
I do.
They put that piece down there and said, you stand here and you don't move. I said, oh, okay. And what they were doing was focusing me and whatever else they were going to shoot.
Right.
And all they had to do is flip a lever and be focused on me. So
okay.
I had no idea. I didn't say why. I probably should have. But it was amazing to watch them do that. You know how much time they had in that video? It's about a 5-minute video?
5 minutes and change, yeah.
Yeah. 4 hours.
Yeah.
They were here 4 hours shooting all kinds of stuff, and one of them made the comment to me. He said, boy, I'd sure like to be able to put what kind of little camera are they about so big?
GoPro.
GoPro.
Oh,
He said, I
yeah.
got a GoPro here. He said, I'd like to put it on the train and run around the track.
Yep.
I said, no problem. Oh, you got a car? I said, yeah, I got a car. So we fixed him up, and I don't know where it's at now.
Yeah, we put them on a flatbed on our O gauge.
Oh,
I didn't run it that way.
it's great.
Yes, it's fantastic.
So we're watching that video, and they've got about that much of the train coming into Solsberry.
And sometimes that's the best part of the train.
Cool.
Yeah.
And to be here doing it is really interesting too. So that was another learning experience that was presented to me, and I took advantage of it.
Heck, take care of it.
Because I had a couple of guys call me and say, "Hey, you want to do a piece for WTIU?" I said, "Sure." I said, "Well, they want to come down and photograph your railroad." I said, "Okay." And they said they want to interview you. Okay. So I had to get dressed up a little bit, you know.
Well, yeah.
So I put a better denim shirt on.
There you go. Put your Sunday denim shirt on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the girl is interesting. She was very intelligent, but not to do with where I was at.
Sure.
And she asked me during the course of the conversation, she said, "Why did you never leave Solsberry?" She said, "You got enough on the ball in your head that you could have made it out of Solsberry." I said, "Well, be honest with you." I said, "There's nothing that I can't get in Solsberry that'll prevent me from growing up to be a productive, clean citizen for my community." And so I had no reason to leave.
Absolutely.
And she was like, "Oh, yeah, that makes sense now." You know, it was a new thought process for her. But it's true. You know,
No matter where you're from.
exactly. You know, you guys know because you're into the
Education, yeah.
stage, and you've been on honor flight and the caboose.
Yeah.
You know about that. You know, it's just an experience that you can't buy it to start with.
No.
You know, if you could, it'd cost you $1 million. But it was such a treat for me to be able to participate in all this stuff.
Well, and part of the fabric of our country is being lost because we lose our sense of community.
Absolutely.
You know, neighbors that don't even speak, don't even know one another. You know,
That's bothered me from word go, and I gave him a little cheat,
Yeah, I've got
print out stuff that I'll give him a copy for you.
thank you.
I think I made some mention in that about me and who I am and where I'm at, and it was kind of like off track, but I wanted to do something for Salisbury and the railroad.
Sure.
So many people ask me, why did I do this, why did I do that? And it's so much simpler just to put it down in writing and print it out.
Right.
And I don't know, it's hard for me to explain for someone that doesn't understand this. You know, you
Right.
understand it.
Absolutely.
You understand it. But you'd be amazed at how many people come through here that don't have a clue.
No.
And I'm not sure they want to have a clue. That's the worst part.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
And I think, Mr. Shute, most of those people have never had a passion.
never.
Yeah.
Never. Don't know what a real thrill life is.
Right.
You know? I mean, you see that bird up there? That's Art Scholl, world aerobatic champion. I was in Columbus, Indiana in '81 with press credentials, and he comes blah, 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 come in and lands.
Okay?
And he flips around and comes up to the little office where they had their meetings. And this girl spoke up and said, "Hey, these guys want to go with you." He said, "Okay, put them on board." So I climbed on board in the front seat, and it happened so quick that I didn't have time to think about it. I had a power winder, 35 millimeter. I went through 4 rows of film.
I'll bet you did, yeah.
But it was an experience second to none, you know. And I took one picture over my shoulder, and I got a little bit of my hair in the picture, and him sitting back there flying with that stick, you know.
Is that right?
Oh.
Yeah.
So, you know, that's some of the thrill of life.
That was a thrill.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can't. And Wayne Hudson, the guy that painted this, was a bigger fan than me, and he found out I did that, so he come down there one day and had painted that on a piece of sticky plastic.
There's the train.
Yeah, here to train.
And he says, "I got something I want to put up." I said, "Well, put her up." You know, I didn't know what it was. Come back, and there it was. Said, "You got an airport, you got to have a plane."
Had one coming in. So was that a Hudson that had ties to Greene County?
It was Wayne Hudson. He owned Nordberg Sign in Bloomington for the longest time.
Okay, yeah, I know that.
And him and his brother Lloyd and Stanley and Bernard. Bernard and Lloyd ran in the later years a little two-car garage work on it and that thing. Stanley, on the other hand, departed. But how they got going to start with during the war, they bought a recap system, and up here in one of the buildings that's now gone,
Yeah.
they manufactured recap tires.
Did they?
And they were hit because nobody else could get what they were getting.
Right.
And so when they got to the point of beginning to slow down after the war, one of the Hudson brothers took off and made him a garage, left standing there by himself. And meanwhile, he had brought in TVs, ranges, refrigerators, appliances.
Sure.
And out here in the sticks, you didn't have a massive assortment of stuff. So he sold them down here for a long time. And he came to me one day and he says, "I'm going to leave you." I said, "Really? Where are you going?" He said, "I rented a place in Bloomington." I said, "Well, you'll be all right. You'll make it, He said, "Well, come see me." So I never talked to him or thought about him for probably a year or two. And I run into his son-in-law who was working for him at the time. I said, how's Stanley doing?" "Oh," said, "he's gangbusters." I said, "Stop in the store and see us." The store was full of pep appliance.
Seriously.
Oh.
Yeah, he's doing okay.
Up there on 2nd Street,
Yeah, he was doing okay. Yeah.
So, it was just one of those, again, fall together community-wise. But it was a unique experience.
Yeah. Yeah.
I enjoyed learning and living at that point,
Sure. Yeah.
But, oh well.
Yeah. Great story. Well, we'll get out of here. Can we get you to the house?
Now, I'm going to call the wife.